My guest today is R.V.S. Mani, former Under-Secretary Internal Security, Ministry of Home Affairs. Mr. Mani is a public commentator on internal security. He received the Padma Award in June 2026. He's the author of The Myth of Hindu Terror, Insider Account of Ministry of Home Affairs 2006 to 2010, in which he sets out his account of how the saffron terror or Hindu terror narrative was constructed inside the Ministry of Home Affairs. We spoke about the Malegaon blast, the interrogation of Colonel Purohit, the Ishrat Jahan case, his own interrogation, fake currency racket, the funding of terror modules via drug cartels from Pakistan. Mani sir, thank you so much for coming on the podcast and congratulations on your Padma Award. So, when you were walking down there was this, all of us were going through so much in our minds as to how much you have gone through in life, how much you have seen in life. So we were all, after we saw you coming and taking the award from the Honorable President, everybody wanted the camera to pan to see what was the expression on the Prime Minister's and the Home Minister's face also. But, Doordarshan did not show at that time. So I was wondering what was going on in your mind when you were walking there, sir.
I was really in cloud nine. Having said that, the Honorable Prime Minister, even before I walked up to him, I had greeted him on the occasion. He started to shake hands with me. He shook hands with me and said he felt as if it was coming from his heart, that he felt personally happy that this has happened. Because there are two things about it. One is the entire narrative for which, and like me, he had also, the Home Minister had also been hounded. And Home Minister was also sitting next to him.
Yeah.
See, during a particular phase of history, now 15 years back is history, we were all common victims of a particular tirade and narrative. So that is what the vindication, that relief, and having cleared everything, there was a sense of victory in my face also. It was also there in the face of the people who had granted me.
It's a vindication for what should I say, a kind of a silent war that you waged for several years. Where you fought against that whole term, which for many people is just a term, but it was something that was much more than a term. It ruined lives for several people. The term Hindu terror. And for which the Home Minister at that time, he just flippantly later said it was a wrong thing that I said. Mr. Shinde said that there was pressure on him. And for a Home Minister, he's the final word on security in this country, is a Home Minister. When a Home Minister says Hindu terror, and then a decade later turns around and says, I just said it, under pressure or under directive of a non-constitutional body. How did that term come and what toll did it take on lives? Explain to me the whole thing.
See, personally, I have gone through a lot. I don't have to repeat, but it is a matter of traumatic that my mother's health deteriorated during that period, and in around 27 days from a generally, see, she was aged, no doubt, she was 88. No doubt. But having said that, at least from a situation where she could even go to the kitchen and light something and make a cup of tea, that type of stability to deteriorating to be a corpse in 27 days happened during that time is a personal trauma for me. And after...
When you were that 27 days was when you were under interrogation?
I was interrogation. That is December 2013 to January 2014. 24 January 2014 is the day she passed out. My father also got some wind of all these things. Again in 2014, he became almost a vegetable, and for almost 11 months or 12 months later, he passed away. So this is something which has taken a personal toll on me. Not just this, because after the death of my mother and with this type of things happening in my family, my father had he was a very erudite person. He could quote, he could do Durga Shaptasati, he could do quote from Vedas. many of the Purohits used to come and consult him. Or after having retired from the from Ministry of Home Affairs, he was worked in Joint Intelligence Committee. He had worked with Mr. K. Subramaniam.
Oh.
And that is the level of thing. After retirement, he took up this spiritual position. And having said that, this happened, and he also, in 2015, he also left us. But the question is, it is my personal story. I would rather bring the story of Aparna Purohit, Brigadier Purohit's wife. Somebody narrated it. I was right from the day one. I have been saying that this is a false case. Why I am saying it? Let us see the timelines.
The Malegaon case.
Malegaon. Let us see Brigadier Purohit. Let us see the timelines. 29th of September it happens. In 6 days or 8 days, in which 22nd October is a holiday, 3-4 days. Dashara holidays were there during that time. That was around 4 working days. They decided it's a terror attack, transferred the case to ATS, which is a 3-day procedure in itself after having come to the conclusion, examining the evidence, that it's a terror attack. That did not happen. It looked as if there was a preconceived script and they were working as per the script.
Who do you think it is? They, when you're saying they, who?
The government at both center and the state, both of them were the same. The party and power had done it. Individually, to pin the blame is again, I cannot say who is it, but...
So you think the Chief Minister was also involved in Maharashtra?
Chief Minister, whether he was personally involved or he was carrying out the orders, is for him to, he is also with not with us.
Yes.
So whether he was carrying out the orders, that is the basic question which begs an answer. Then in July 2006, there was a case happens of serial bomb blast. The government, the Maharashtra ATS takes 7 months to identify and arrest the. In Malegaon 2008, they did it in 20 days. Sadhvi Pragya, Brigadier Purohit. Brigadier Purohit's arrest was earlier than what is actually shown. That means, and the irony is now many people say that Batkal, the south coastal Karnataka, etc. are all extremely infested with the Indian Mujahideen's birthplace is coastal Karnataka, Batkal to be precise. This had been flagged by Colonel Purohit. This had been flagged in many of the intelligence. I did not know who was writing it. But later on, as we call it, my anonymous partner was Colonel Bakshi. Once we were discussing about it.
Hani Bakshi.
So he said this case, I said I did the entire finding of that. So that time we found that he was an anonymous partner of mine. He used to give me all the intelligence inputs. I was only to execute it. So why I am saying it like that, a lot of things were getting generated. We do not know who is generating it. But the fact that he had mined a lot of information about these activities, ISI activities, SIMI, ISI connections, etc. and how they are trying to disrupt the entire Indian state. Maharashtra became the laboratory for that. In both the Malegaons, the perpetuators were Ahle Hadith. Ahle Hadith is an extremely radical outfit. I kept on saying it Ahle Hadith, but all this was brushed aside and they started picking up Hindus and arresting them and putting them. Abhinav Bharat has also to be seen. Abhinav Bharat he was disbanded into 1953. A UPA comes to power. They revived the Abhinav Bharat. And it was a psyops. And they recruit all they mischievously or by misleadingly recruit all the right-wing activists into that. Then populate its funds. See, if it had to be revived, Charities Commissioner of Maharashtra has to give the clearance. In a Maharashtra UPA or NCP Congress combined government, will the charity government will not have given the clearance without any clearance from the political bosses. So it was deliberately revived, and thereafter these people were attracted into that, and then just to frame it was all very very planned way of doing it.
Okay.
Very planned way of doing it. So that is that. Then afterward, these people are taken to task. They were arrested. Sadhvi Pragya was a yogini and Colonel Purohit being an army officer, or Major Upadhyay being an ex-army officer, had their conditioning of body. Otherwise, anybody would have died.
What they were subjected to.
What they were subjected to. 24 hours beating. Petitions have been coming to us. Petitions had been sent to... See, happily they would send it to the Human Rights Division of the MHA. कहते इसको human rights में भेज दो. But the issue was about false case of terror attack. So that is the way it is. And Colonel Purohit is still walking is something, is a miracle.
No, but when they are using third degree methods, isn't it cleared by somebody that they will use this? And isn't there a record? And can they do this to us? I mean, how did the army just give him away?
That is the biggest question again is, see, first he was doing a training in that place, Pachmadi. From Pachmadi he was shown a movement order to Delhi. At Bhopal when he reached, his movement order was changed and another gentleman, the same Lieutenant Colonel who accompanied him, showed him, no, your movement order is changed, you have to go to Bombay. At Bombay airport he was handed over to ATS. I fail to understand, see, basically, even if there is a minor evidence found against a serving army officer, it has to be cleared with the GOC command.
Yeah.
That means at least 26 desks would examine the evidence, not just simply...
Not just Western Command, but much more than that.
Much more than that. They have to examine each of the evidence, say that there is adequate. Prior to that, he could not have been arrested to put in the bars. But it happened. And it was happening clandestinely. So that means... And very interesting thing is, Colonel Purohit was one person who was training the ATS officers in the intelligence gathering.
Yeah.
During the previous incumbent, KP Raghuvanshi's time.
And the same ATS officers subjected him
except the leader. Leader had moved away as Commissioner Thane. And we had also warned him that he have touched a raw nerve somewhere. So that is what is most unfortunate.
And everybody was silent when this was going on. What was the Home Ministry doing at that stage when they know that he was Lieutenant Colonel at that time?
Yeah.
That a Lieutenant Colonel level officer is being subjected to third degree treatment. A Sadhvi is being interrogated. It must have, those files must have reached important, at least a Joint Secretary level officer?
Indeed. They were told that Deepak Kapoor's stay has been consulted and the Defence Ministry will handle it. It was
so the file moved away from Home Ministry?
We were asked to close the file, that they have parallel file on that, they will handle it. And number two, we were told that, see, investigation is a state subject. We do not centrally intervene. Second thing is, army officers are involved, let Defence Ministry handle it. This was the two-line command which came up.
So it was between MOD and Home Ministry, the files kept shifting and we don't know who had the file then finally, right? Or do you know whether it was with the forces or the MOD? Who had it?
It was in the MOD.
MOD.
I won't take the names, etc., etc.
Right, fine.
One lady officer of Ministry of Defence said that, अरे छोड़ो ना, फौजी ओजी हैं, फौजी को ऐसे ही कर देना. I don't want to say anything more than that. छोड़ो, फौजी हैंडल कर लेंगे, आप एजिटेट क्यों होते हो. Shivraj Patel, Home Minister.
Home Minister. Yeah.
Who I have written in my book also, he was never involved in this work. Digvijay Singh was running the Home Ministry.
Yeah. You've said that he had a room in which he was, it was not authorized, but he was sitting there and...
No, he was sitting in Shivraj Patel's room. Shivraj Patel will sit in his official chair, but the orders used to come from Digvijay Singh sitting in a sofa. In the sofa, he will sit and... कहता मंत्री जी बुला रहे हैं, means we go there, कहता he will simply show you, attend to him, and thereafter it was Digvijay Singh was throwing the orders.
Why was Sadhvi Pragya picked up? Why do you think?
I have no idea. Why they picked up all the people, I have no idea. And some people were picked up on fictitious name, and then that also we were not having any idea.
But when Colonel Purohit was acquitted, but the case prolonged for God knows how many years. It just went on and on, right? All through that period, was there anybody who was willing to speak up for all of them? The Malegaon case.
I was there. I have been speaking since 2018. I have been speaking even prior to that also, but 2018 also onward, after my book, I have been speaking openly. His own lawyer had approached me and we were all speaking for him. But later on, she got elevated as judge of my Bombay High Court, Neelam Gokhale. But that's the way it was. We tried to get our Salveji moved a petition now, December. Harish Salve, that it should be, there should be SIT should be constituted, but Supreme Court did not agree. This was September, October 2018.
When did you first hear about the term Hindu terror?
Officially never. But as I said, 26/11, I had gone to Mumbai. There are quite a few of sequences. First is, let us get it. You know, Domaria Ganj, there was a fake currency bust in the State Bank of India branch in Domaria. Domaria Ganj is very close to the Nepal border. And Pakistan used to send it from their embassy in Nepal to traffic it. At that time, some minor whispers were that कि Hindu terror के लिए आया है. But there was no Hindu terror, so to say. But later on, 26/11, prior to that, some things that the Malegaon, these things that started happening. We were still saying that it was Ahle Hadith. Repeatedly, Colonel Purohit was arrested at that time. Then one Assistant Solicitor General in Lucknow had gone for some work. He said, ये हिंदू टेरर क्या? मैंने कहा मुझे नहीं पता, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. I don't believe that there is any Hindu terror. कहते नहीं यार, सरकार झूठ तोड़ना बोलेगी. मैंने कहा मुझे नहीं पता, सरकार झूठ नहीं बोलती, मेरे पास कोई एविडेंस नहीं है. Like that, there was no Hindu terror on Ministry of Home Ministry's Internal Security Division's official record. 2006, 1st January, 1st June 2006, Digvijay Singh had asked me to mine about cases where Hindu terrorism was there. I told him that there are no such cases. Another police officer whom later on in 26/11 only I recognized him as Hemant Karkare. He was sitting with Digvijay Singh and from the Home Minister's office. All the senior officers were again in Pakistan. कहता देखो हिंदू टेरर होगा. मैंने कहा सर जी मेरे पास नहीं है. अब होम मिनिस्टर आ रहे हैं 4 बजे, होम सेक्रेटरी विल बी इन ऑफिस. कहते नहीं आप ही ढूंढ के दिखाओ ना. मैंने कहा आई हैव नो neither in investigation nor in intelligence report I have a Hindu terror. That chapter closed there. Then in 2000...
What was the Pakistan thing that you said? Who are the people?
See, like 26/11, 30th and 31st May 2006 also they were in Pakistan.
Who was?
The Home Secretary and his team were in Pakistan for the Home Secretary level talks. On 1st of June, before they were to come, RSS headquarters was attacked. There was not much damage, but the attack took place all the same, in spite of that. So, at that time, when this came, Digvijay Singh was sitting in the room of Home Minister, asking to mine information on whether there is a case of Hindu terror.
So, are you suggesting that information on Hindu terror was planted on that Home Secretary level talks in Islamabad?
No, it was not planted. They had gone there. RSS headquarters attack had taken place as a defensive mechanism. The Congress had started playing that no, Hindus are also terrorists. Since they didn't want the attack on RSS to be overhyped and the benefit go to politically to some other party, they wanted it to be counter it with Hindu terror. That not only Muslims but Hindus are also terrorists. That was the catchphrase Digvijay Singh always used. Even now he says that. Either terror has no religion. Why terrorists are all Muslims? They said no, Hindus are also terrorists. That is the basic catchphrase they wanted to peddle in this whole narrative.
But a politician will not say this. I mean, at least a Home Minister will not say this unless that term is backed with some kind of evidence by the bureaucracy.
I will tell you one thing. 2010, till I was there in the Internal Security Division, none of the files had the term Hindu terror. Dipti Vilasa, the Joint Secretary, was transferred, who had been defending it. Thereafter, I was transferred. Then another director went on leave for some reason, obvious reasons. Thereafter, one joint secretary on his own, without any input from the IB or anything, wrote very casually on the file that there are some cases of Hindu terror also. We will also examine this. That is the only. It has come out in RTI. Rahul Shiv Shankar, that time when he was in News 6, had pulled out this information in RTI in 2016. In 2010, July 17th or so, the recording was made that there are some Hindu terror cases by a joint secretary without any basis, without any IB input or anything like that. That is how the Hindu terror came into the files of Home Ministry. But prior to that, lot of attempt was made, but our team always resisted. No, whomsoever is that, see, Asim Anand was arrested. Samjhauta blast case is something which was simply could have been avoided.
How? What? Tell me about that.
I will suggest, see, I have written one book called Deception.
I've also had Hani Bakshi on the show, so...
I have written a book called Deception. See, it is a novel. It's a fiction. Because certain things cannot be put on the record straight away. So I have written it on a sort of a novel. If you read the novel, you will make out how Makka Masjid, Gokul Chaat, Samjhauta Blast and high court, district courts of UP, all these blasts could have been avoided.
Had officers gone after Ahle Hadith or had they gone after...
Lashkar-e-Toiba, see, for example, Samjhauta blast case, we had a person living in Noor Nagar. We knew he was going to board the train. Noor Nagar is somewhere in Jamia area.
Delhi.
But still it happened. And all the perpetrators got released within 14 days. And it's a case that the input was that ISI had given a contract to an organized crime syndicate of Karachi, which headed by Arif Kasmani. And after this happened, the government of India claimed it as a Hindu terror. Arif Kasmani did not get payment from the ISI because the ISI was saying, see, government is claiming as a Hindu terror, why should we pay you? So he went to US media and claimed that it is a Hindu, I have done it. But the government of India said, no, our people have done it. And this happened until 2017 when they were acquitted. That is the irony. 10 years all these people spent in jail, whatever it is. The person also who really perpetrated kept on shouting from the rooftop that I have done it. Because the ISI became unscrupulous and said, look, government of India says Hindus have done it. Where are you?
Why should we pay you?
Why should we pay you? This is a story of Samjhauta blast. He had gone to US media, lobbied with them that, look, you say that I have done it. There are a lot of US reports saying that Arif Kasmani had done this. But the government of India said no, that time said no, it is a Hindu terror. Asim Anandji or whatever XYZ had done it. Makkah Masjid also same thing happened. Sharifuddin and Mohammed Bilal Sharifuddin was an illegal Bangladeshi. Now that day also had on the illegal Bangladeshi problem, I said. Sharifuddin had purchased a SIM card from Faridabad. Everything was noted down. And he had planted Mohammed Bilal had planted it. Everybody said, why should a Muslim kill Muslims? Makkah Masjid on a Friday is a Namazi day or whatever it is. I said, that doesn't make a difference. And that is the reason I said, if you can read the book called Deception, Rashtra Se Dhoka, it is also available in Hindi. There you will get a lot of inputs on that.
Okay. You mentioned a short while ago that Colonel Purohit, and you've mentioned in some interviews also that Colonel Purohit's incarceration was not just random, that there was a plot behind it, and that it's possible that somebody sitting in Pakistan did not want him to rise.
Perfectly right, because at the age of 34 he was a selection grade lieutenant colonel. He would have gone on to become at least a corps commander, if not the chief of army staff. That was certain. I was a very competent, very bright officer. So people in the Pakistan did not want him to come to that level.
Do you think that that Pakistan had that kind of...
See, See, there are a lot of equations within the top bureaucracy, the Amanti Asha media groups, the political things. See, Lalu being fettered out in Pakistan is not a ordinary thing, or even
It's not a cute thing. Which
cute, right? It's not an ordinary thing, right?
Safma used to keep asking me, लालू यादव क्यों नहीं प्रधानमंत्री बन सकते हैं आपके यहाँ, वजीर आजम क्यों नहीं बन सकते हैं? And I said कि तुमको क्या लेना देना?
SAFMA is also I also brought it out in 2006 somewhere that SAFMA delegation came. They were also doing the same thing which all the delegations from Pakistan do it.
Which is what?
They bring drugs. See, you have the case of we have the reported case of Shoaib Akhtar and Mohammad Asif,
The cricketers.
Who were sent back by Pakistani High Commissioner after self-confessing that they were carrying drugs.
But that was for personal consumption, they said.
That is what is the ruse. So that the entire background, all the Pakistani team players, whenever the Pakistani delegations, teams, everything come, they traffic drugs here. It is not one personal consumption that in another 8 months of time. This happened on 16th October. March 2, in 6 months' time, their English coach, Bob Woolmer, who resisted this drug trafficking by the Pakistani, was killed under suspicious circumstances. All the dots have to be joined. And Pakistan delegations used to bring drugs, and as per the DIA estimate of that time, 30% of the Indian terror attacks funding was coming from the drug only. It's an official policy of the Pakistan to push drugs into the India, traffic drugs. That's the reason we used to say that in Jalalabad, if the harvest is high, we are going to have more attacks here. We used to anticipate like that. इस बार जलालाबाद में देखो भाई ज़्यादा ओपीएम हार्वेस्ट तो नहीं हो गया तो हमारे सरदर्दी हो जाएगी.
But would they use high-profile people like journalists, think tank people, and all that to bring drugs?
There is no. See, Mohammad Asif or Shoaib Akhtar is also not a.
Yeah, they're well-known people.
They're well-known people. They are high-profile people. So was the other people in these Salim Malik or Shahid Afridi, whose name might not have been named. But the entire team consisted of that, and they used to do it. Those days, Shahid Afridi or Hassan Raja or whatever name it is.
But there were so many delegations which used to come. Poets used to come, writers used to come.
These delegations which were handling it, not the official ones like coming for water talks or not the official. And even they
people-to-people contact.
The people-to-people contact is the biggest fraud on the.
Why do you say that?
That is where all these things used to happen. The false narration and.
But wasn't IB tracking them, their movements and everything?
So many movements, so many tracking, so many reports are lying unattended in the Home Ministry, because IB's job is only to alert us, inform us. Afterward, the concerned division has to take up the matter.
But Mani sir, Government of India invited them. They would be put up in 5-star hotels, given lunch, dinner coupons to eat in 5-star hotels. Right. They were wined and dined by the topmost politicians in India. You're sitting in the Home Ministry and you're watching all this. And you're reading reports that they are peddling drugs and they are conducting the work of the ISI. How do you feel at that time?
I did feel bad about it. See, within the limited, a delegation which we received for the Home Secretary level talks, on 3rd of July 2007, 2nd and 3rd of July 2007, 2nd only they said the gentleman Syed Kamal Shah, the Interior Secretary, went back that night itself, said that there is a Lal Masjid attack in
Yes, Islamabad.
Other people stayed back. That night many of them had passed out, I don't know what they were doing. There were a lot of reports. Then in Agra also there was one BSF commandant had been sent as a liaison officer there. He had to accompany them, but they used to abscond for a few hours and then come. They went on a visit to Taj. So these are all there, but we cannot do anything about it because, see, it could be at that time the IB is only giving us a suspicion. I have to get the investigation agency to get them investigated so that we can grill them. That stage was never permitted by the home ministers of successive home ministers like Shivraj Patil would never do it. Even Chidambaram's time also. Chidambaram's time, in fact, he went out of the way to help the Pakistani fellows. Chidambaram's time, there was only one Home Secretary level talk which was held.
But even he went to Islamabad, Home Minister level talks also were held.
June 2010, we had said let him not go. It was SAARC Interior Ministers Conference. So it was flagged by us, the Internal Security Division, that look, whenever there is a dignitary of Indian government goes to Pakistan, there is a disturbance in this. It's a matter of record. I don't know whether the record is 15 years. They might have destroyed it. SAARC Interior Ministers meeting. Chidambaram we had suggested not to go, but Secretary International Organization, Mr. K.C. Singh's rebuttal came that no, these matters should be left to the advice of the Home External Affairs Ministry. Let Chidambaram go. And let the Home Minister go. Home Minister went there, and on that very day, disturbance started in Kashmir. That was you can check the record. The first time stone throwing as an instrument of protest was introduced as soon as the Chidambaram landed there. And they do it every time. See, in 2611 also, 25th Home Secretary level talks were held. There was an attack. Sayyid Kamal Shah. Sayyid Kamal Shah. In 2007, it was India's time to host the talks. He left on that night because Lal Masjid. Prior to that, 2005-06 also, RSS headquarters. So it was a pattern. 2008 also, after this 2611, we had suspended the talks, so to say. But P. Chidambaram in 2011 reinitiated the talks. And what happened? Actually, this is something very dear to me because I have been involved in the team which used to make the dossiers.
Okay.
We used to make the dossiers so meticulously with intelligence agencies, security agencies. What Chidambaram did is he set aside all those dossiers and brought in some new agency, his favorite, the CBI, to make the dossiers. And there were mistakes in the dossiers in the sense that what we were claiming that fugitives from Indian laws living in Pakistan, two of them were found, one in Bonsey jail in Haryana and another was in there.
So they had an upper hand by saying you are false.
All my dossiers credibility is demolished.
By a factual error.
By factual error. It looked deliberate for us. So this is the level of fixed match they used to play.
Also the equating of 2611 with Samjhauta. That you also did a blast?
We also do. And also the 2611, I have said on many occasions, it's a fixed match between ISI and INC.
Please repeat that.
It is a fixed match between INC, Indian National Congress, and ISI. I say that with full responsibility. I have been telling it for 8 years. I have asked Congress people to challenge it on national TV. Why I am saying it is, you go through the record. Chidambaram's statement in Lok Sabha Secretary, Suomoto statement on 10th December 2008. It says the Indian Coastal Guard and the Indian Navy had spotted the ship in Pakistani territory. Later on, no further intelligence was received, so the surveillance was abandoned, which is the biggest misnomer. Any security agency sees an adverse element, they inspect whether the intelligence is received or not. This is earlier backed by intelligence, but whether further intelligence is received or not, they escalate the surveillance, not abandon the surveillance. The very basic grain of security. Even a local level chowkidar will do that. And that means that the Indian Navy or Indian Coast Guard was asked to abandon the surveillance. They would not have Suomoto done it.
Why would Coast Guard take a directive from the Home Minister?
See, somebody, I'm not saying Home Minister, somebody has directed it. Later on, now after 87 years, Prithviraj Chauhan had given a statement recently, and he was, Coast Guard or Indian Navy would take orders only from Chief of our Navy, Defence Minister or the PMO.
Yeah.
On the same lines, MOS, PMO of that time made a statement recently.
Prithviraj Chavan as MOS,
Right,
PMO,
PMO.
saying that they were asked to step back.
Not exactly in that many words, but the imputation of his words was that.
Shivraj Patil. But actually what you're saying is Shivraj Patil was not a home minister who was taking action. There was Digvijay Singh who was sitting on the couch and deciding everything.
That is a normal daily.
So one really doesn't know who took that decision to be in cahoots, is what you're saying.
No, besides, there is one more reason. Now, on this, Shivraj Patil has to take the blame that 9:30 or so, Mr. J.K. Dutt had deployed, asked the NSG to come. When I said to this, those days were not much traffic, 2 hours they would have reached.
They didn't have a plane.
No. Shivraj Patil said, I will accompany I was in the control room. He said, I will accompany the NSG team. For 2 hours, they kept on waiting in the technical area of airport. Saab, I said, sir, let us deploy a local, a message was sent. Another joint secretary said, ज़्यादा पंगा मत लो यार, मरता है मरने दो, अपने सर पे आगे, tomorrow if anything goes wrong, you will be roasted alive. मैंने कहा सर वहाँ तो it's a state of war. कहता ठीक है छोड़ दो, मैं बोल दूंगा आप जो बोल रहे हैं, I will convey it.
किसने कहा ये?
There is somebody else.
Okay.
I don't want to name him.
Right.
I respect him very well because he stood by me on the date.
Okay.
I'm personally indebted to him. कहते एक और बार बोल देता. Second time he said, let us pick up some CRPF from Navi Mumbai and deploy that. So that initial mitigation they will do. Let us pick up the one column from the CISF airport itself, send them there. No. There will be no response. At 2:15, Shivraj Patil started off from the residence. 2:30 or so, he went to the airport.
How many hours have gone by now?
It started around
8:45, yeah. So you're talking about 9 hours, or 8 to 9 hours gone.
Gone. And 2 hours to fly to Mumbai. In Mumbai, he waited. That DIG of the CISF came, gave a proper official protocol in which around 15 to 20 minutes were wasted. Shivraj Patil alighted the plane. Subsequently, the people were asked to alight. So it was almost 10 hours, 12 hours, which was wasted. 8 to 10 hours, which were wasted in that process.
You think it was deliberate, the whole thing?
Obviously, because it's a state of war, it was being told several times.
Or was it just inaction because nobody really wants to take responsibility? We've heard this, that it happens many times.
But here it was a case of, he was repeatedly told by so many people, control room se bar phone, he had his additional PS sitting at his home, कहता साहब अभी सो रहे हैं, साहब अभी तैयार हो रहे हैं, साहब अभी तैयार हो रहे हैं, साहब अभी कपड़ा पहन रहे हैं, साहब अभी जूता पहन रहे हैं. That is the way he used to. So was it, you mean to say it was not deliberate? See, I don't want to say much more.
But it's a hostage situation.
It's a war.
Yeah.
Basically, it was a war.
Multiple targets. It is, yeah.
It
never seen before, never seen after.
It was a war on unknown terrain. In fact, because of the recce, David Hadley and the Gilani had it. They were well aware of the terrain, but we did not have the even the line plan of Taj Hotel. So we have to open the Greater Mumbai office and to pull out. That was not feasible at that time. One commissioner was there in the, Hassan Ghafoor was there in Taj, K.L. Prasad was there in Trident. Our Kama hospital was filled with bodies. CST, Chapad House, we do not know who took control of that. Absolutely. There was one S.L. Agarwal, one inspector of the ATS who was handling the phone. कहता साहब मुझे हमको कुछ नहीं पता सर. कहता सब ऑफिसर तैनात में हैं, सब ऑफिसर तैनात में हैं, मुझे सिर्फ फोन संभालने के लिए छोड़ा हुआ. And in the midst of all this, I will tell you one more thing. Additional Chief Secretary Home, who had been receiving all these inputs, coastal area, high profile hotel, attacks from this, she was present in the Taj Hotel, and by her own confession, she was able to come out unscathed at 3 o'clock from Taj. This I have noted in my book. And ironically, the same as additional chief secretary had deposed in Colonel Purohit's case also, where she said that she signed the prosecution sanction on the orders of R.R. Patil or somebody, Jayant Patil of the Home Minister of Maharashtra or something like that, in the NIA court. In that case also she had taken a...
Was it coincidence that she was
No,
there?
she was the additional chief secretary. It was not a... See, how
No, that she was there in the hotel.
I do not know. But how did she get escape absolutely clean? How did she
Several
escape?
people did get out.
Did it? I didn't know that.
But several people got out, no? They were pulled out in safety.
That was much later, not at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, 3 o'clock in the morning.
The timing, first person.
When the terrorists were still there inside.
Terrorists were still attacking. There was no defense mechanism excepting, see, basically the Chief Secretary of Kerala, Chief Secretary of Maharashtra, to save his own face and the save face of the country and the state, had spoken to the Marcos commander, Vice Admiral. They were classmates from Kerala. This is a story which is informally conveyed to me by somebody. There's no, I cannot vouch for it, but this is how, and out of that personal equation,
the Marcos team landed up.
Marcos team landed up their brief was only to control the damage, not counter-attack.
Oh.
Because no chief secretary will give the...
he doesn't have the authority.
Authority to order counter-attack. It was purely out of personal friendship, he requested that at least damage control kar lo.
But you've also said that it was an elaborate plan. It was not just the ISI functioning. There were people, I don't know whether colluding or who maybe invariably provided support in some manner or the other in India.
Certainly. I will take you forward. These people land in Colaba, walk through the Kolivada of that area. Walking through the Kolivada, the area in the evening on any evening is, Wednesday evening is not so easy. People are dancing and all that. When I raised this question with somebody, he said, Virendra Sehwag ka century was being hit. I said, even in Kolivada, they put this community large TV sets. So all of them, you will not be allowed to pass so easily. And 10 people carrying arms, ammunitions, were carrying them. And nobody asked the question. Number 2 is, when they landed in Badwar Park, where did they get the transport? Where did they get the Indian money? Then go back to Colaba, dingy area. Wet clothes they would have come with. Only how did they navigate the traffic of Mumbai port? Evening traffic is quite high, dense. How did they navigate without being seen? Who gave them the traffic plans? Then coming to Badwar Park. From Badwar Park, how do they know this route to Chadbad House to Taj and Trident are adjacent to each other?
Colaba area.
These 3 are Colaba area, VT station, CST. Who took them? They paid by taxi. Who paid them the money? So there was an Indian hand in this. There is no way that there was no Indian hand in this. But Government of India answer to the question says there was no Indian hand. Not exactly that. They say the investigation agencies did not find any merit in this. The question is, question number 78, answered on 2nd March 2010, oral answer. MOS had answered it. The question is whether Kasab has confessed to any Indian hand receiving any Indian help. It says yes, Kasab had confessed to receiving Indian help, but the investigation agencies did not find any merit in that. So, in all other cases, we are saying that it's a matter of central investigation, state investigation, not our. Why did you have to cover up for the state investigation in this? You could have simply said no Indian, as per the available information, no Indian, or something like that.
What would politicians in India get by staging this?
See, the entire narration was to make it a Hindu attack only, a Kalava of Kasab on the hand.
But he got caught instead.
That he got caught because of our great Tukaram
Tukaram
Ombole.
Ombole.
Had Tukaram Ombole not caught him or even killed him, today it would have been a Hindu terror attack. It would have been a Hindu terror attack. And 30th December 2008 incident. An attempt was, I put my reply from the Delhi police also, to my letter there. An attempt was made to kidnap me in Dwarka. Special Secretary, Internal Secretary lodged a complaint with the Delhi police that this is what has happened. After 6 months, they said wishy-washy reply saying that later on some police officers and an IB chap confessed me that yaar chhod do, don't pursue the case. मैंने कहा क्यों? कहता it was an attempt, now the case is closed. It was an attempt to kidnap you and trade off with Kasab. मैंने कहा क्यों भाई, मैं ही क्यों? कहता तो अच्छा लगा तुम्हारा. Thereafter he said no, अब ये मत देखिए, अब ये देखिए कि उस दिन इंडियन मीडिया इंडस्ट्री का कोई बहुत बड़ी दिग्गज जो है 30th December 2008 को इस्लामाबाद में प्रेजेंट थी. दिस इज आईबी इंफॉर्मेशन टू मी.
Explain again.
It was all set.
Who is this media personality?
I do not know. किस लिए थी, कहाँ थे, क्या, कुछ नहीं पता. कौन था, कौन थी, पता कोई.
Actor.
वो भी नहीं पता. See, they gave me this much information.
So this trade-off would have happened under that.
Under that, she would have negotiated. And thereafter, you would never have known that Pakistan, Kasab was a Pakistani. They would have said, oh, Indian hai. But the question is, why? I say, somehow by God's blessings, I got saved.
What happened that day when you,
actually,
you were in a car?
I was driving my car. It was the
a new car you said, which you had.
December 25th, I had bought it. And I had gone to...
which year was this again?
2008.
8.
I was in the office. We were working up to 10 o'clock in the law ministry. तो लॉ मिनिस्ट्री कहता जी आप हमारी गाड़ी ले जाओ राष्ट्रपति भवन में, ये कंसेंट के लिए दिस यूएपी एंड एनआईए बिल. टुमारो मॉर्निंग जो है ना, somebody is going to विशाखापट्टनम, president is in विशाखापट्टनम. That bill goes through several readings after it had been passed. कहता प्रेसिडेंट असेंट्रल से पहले आप इसको ना कहीं राष्ट्रपति भवन पहुंचा दो, इससे तुम गाड़ी ले जाओ. मैंने कहा गाड़ी ले जाऊंगा, मुझे वापस आके आई विल हैव टू गो टू नॉर्थ ब्लॉक, टेक माई कार एंड गो. आई विल डू वन थिंग, यू ड्रॉप मी इन नॉर्थ ब्लॉक. वहाँ से वो फ्रीमैन एवेन्यू से मैं निकल जाऊंगा ना, व्हाट इज नोन एज घाट नंबर 37. आई वेंट देयर, आई हैंडेड ओवर टू वन सुब्रमण्यम, जेंटलमैन हु रिसीव्ड इट, एंड आई लेफ्ट. देयर वाज अ लॉ मिनिस्ट्री ऑफिशियल आल्सो विद मी. इसे साहब जी, अब मैं भी जा रहा था, मुझे द्वारका ही जाना है, मुझे छोड़ देना. तो ही लिव्स अ लिटिल अहेड ऑफ मी नियर NSIT. So after I had gone there, I went and dropped him and took a U-turn, was coming back. Suddenly four people in bikes started chasing me. They will cross my path this way, that way and all. I smelled something smelly. I stopped at a police post. Now that police post is not there. Those days there was a temporary police post. There was nobody in the police post. Anyway, I landed through all the back lanes and all. I drove like a mad person, entered my building apartment compound. And later on, it says, if you read the letter of the Delhi police, the entire police station was empty. All this person had gone there, this person had there. So the question, even my own boss...
If you had driven to any of the police stations,
nobody would have come. Nobody would have attended to me. And 2 times he almost came close to crashing his bike into my set. I managed.
So during this period of 26/11 and this kidnapping thing, it has still not emerged
Kasab is a Pakistani.
that Kasab is a Pakistani. So you would have been kidnapped, a transfer would have taken, and the myth that Kasab is an Hindu because of the Kalava would have stayed. And entire 26/11 would have become a Hindu terror incident.
But after this botch-up, 6th of January or 7th January, Pakistan had to compel to except Kasab has it there.
But have you recorded this anywhere at that time? Did you make an FIR? Did you say that there was an attempt?
Yeah,
somewhere?
the letter went from Special Secretary, Internal
So
Secretary.
now they are stuck at that stage.
Exactly.
Huh.
So it went to from my Special Secretary, Internal Secretary to
Who was he at that time?
Mr. I think it was Mr. Raman Srivastav. To Commissioner of Police. Then
Who was the Commissioner of Police?
I think Mr. Y.S. Dadwal. Then the response came after 6 months. I don't know what they did about it. But this attempt was abandoned because the letter went. I had put it on Home Minister's record.
So, but all this could not have happened unless somebody in MHA or somebody in Delhi police was in cohorts with this. To have emptied out police stations, to have this kind of tracking of you going in the car, and you have a witness now with you. Somebody else was in the car with you, right? From the law ministry.
Right. Now, after I got dropped in, only this started off.
Okay. But there is some kind of a mapping which has happened.
Right. The question again is, my information is, instructions went from the topmost place. I don't know what the topmost place is. No, the friends in the agencies, the friends in security establishment said they were given orders. And that failed, and subsequent to that, this happened. Because Shuja Pasha was to come in the interim period, but he abandoned his trip for reasons not known to him.
You would think that at that stage, that means ISI was in cohorts with Indian intelligence agencies?
Not intelligence. See, there are so many political friends they had in the...
So could a political party have that kind of reach and power to do this elaborate thing without the National Security Advisor knowing about it, without...
National Security Advisor. There is another thing I will map here. I always keep telling people that if a boy fails in physics, you don't engage an English teacher. Similarly, 2611 was a security failure. There was a meeting which was held in the North Block. Shivraj Patil had chaired the meeting. Many officers from defense, when I remember one Mr. Joshi from military intelligence, Mrs. General Joshi, and so many people, some intelligence chiefs and others, they were shouting that we are all going to en masse retire because we are taking the muck. It narrates, in my book it is narrated there. In the meantime, when actually it had become so aggressive, I asked my special secretary, sir, iska kuch minutes banana hai. तो कहता है यार इसका कोई मिनट्स बना पाओगे, इट विल मिरेकल, गाली गलौच होने वाली, अब देखते रहना. और वो हुआ वही था कि गाली गलौच हो रही थी. In the meantime, somebody, a chaplain, came and sent a message to Shivraj Patil. He stood up and said, you will have a new home minister, and walked away.
Home minister?
That was 30th November 2008. All the security chiefs, all the intelligence chiefs, really, they've riled upon Shivraj Patil, saying that because of political people, we are taking all the hit. We are taking the blame for everything you are doing. You don't allow. See, we had the intelligence, DNA had the intelligence, IB had the intelligence, RW had the intelligence, and still, because of your inaction, everybody is saying that it's an intelligence failure.
It's a very disturbing thing that we still don't have closure on 2611. And it was something, it was not, you're saying it wasn't as what appears, that just an ISI.
Certainly it's not what appeared. Certainly not what it appeared. Lot of inputs were there. I referred about Domaria Ganj. If you connect the dots of those times, the Domaria Ganj, that fake currency heist was one of the ways of funding the 2611.
Let me take you to the Ishrat Jahan encounter case. Explain to me your role at that time, and you've spoken in great detail also on that case. So explain to me, especially when that that whole thing about when that interrogation takes place of yours?
See, basically what happened is 6th August is my first affidavit, which was cleared by P. Chidambaram, the Home Minister. Then he goes to US, somebody incidentally when Jainarayan was the Home Minister of Gujarat, had shown that my affidavit in the TV and all that. Then Chidambaram comes back, he snatches the file from the Joint Secretary and said, the file remained there with him, he never returned it. Drafts an affidavit, says, I have drafted an affidavit, ask the Under Secretary to go and file it. So when I said, as per conduct rules, it's an order, do it. I said, do it, fine.
The second affidavit?
Second affidavit. So I went and did
So
it.
what happened in the first affidavit? What did
I
you
had
write?
said very clearly that she had come to kill, my seniors had changed it to kill several political functionaries, political leaders. But in my own original, if I recollect, it was basically Narendra Modi ji and Amit Shah were the targets.
So you specifically mentioned that the Chief Minister of Gujarat and the Home Minister of Gujarat were the targets for Ishrat Jahan, who was an LET operative.
Right.
Right.
That was changed by some seniors.
हाँ.
कि इतना specific मत लिखो. Leading political personalities of Gujarat के लिखा था.
हाँ.
The first affidavit says
In
that.
Home Ministry.
Home Ministry. No, I have no objection for that. No problem.
You based it on investigations done by the
IB and other material which is available in the
and very meticulous investigation.
very meticulous investigation.
So you 100% believed the investigation that she was an LET operative.
Perfectly right.
David Headley also in his to NIA said that.
Earlier to that, there was a legal attaché, Daniel Clegg in US Embassy. He had also confirmed about it. That she was a ISI.
How would he know?
He had the US Embassy had also confirmed this. What was the source, we do not know.
We don't know. Okay.
So they had also said that Muzaffar Bhatt was interrogated in some other context and there it was convinced that they had come to kill.
Muzammal Bhatt was in the US.
Yeah.
So during interrogation, David Headley and Muzammal Bhatt both had said that she is. But David Headley then changed.
Changed, right.
So did Chidambaram, saying that signature is not his.
No, he did not say that. He said, I only made editorial changes.
But he did say that even if I had signed it, first he said it's not his signature. Then he said, even if I had signed it, then he said that there were editorial changes that were made. Now, explain to me that when it was, what was the doubt in it that the second affidavit was changed? Why?
I do not know what was this, and I do not, in several years in Government of India, we have never signed what is quote unquote called an additional affidavit in any case. Generally, supplementary affidavits are filed when some new points are introduced, some new facts are found. Here, no new facts. See, there was no input to find new facts. We had nothing else except
the court didn't tell you because the first affidavit you have submitted in court.
On the basis of court's direction. High Court gave a direction that Union of India should file a affidavit. We signed it. Court did not sign anything like that. It is Chidambaram's suo moto decision. It was drafted by 3 top legal luminaries in the Chidambaram's room. It was told find out whether Attorney General is not there. We found out and said he was in London at that time. Go and file it. Home Secretary gave the file, only the affidavit to me. I went and filed it on 29th of...
Your signature is not there on that affidavit? Second affidavit?
Both, it is mine.
Okay.
Both
who all have signed in the second affidavit now?
So, see, basically the order came directly from only Chidambaram. Second affidavit, even the file was not shown.
Who's the Home Secretary by now?
That time Mr. G.K. Pillai was there.
Okay.
He has also come out and said that the second affidavit was drafted and decided at a political level. It's on open record. All the officers did not agree to second affidavit. It was Chidambaram who decided at a political level. He has come out on record.
G.K. Pillai has twice said this. Once was on this and once on the Hindu terror. In both the cases, G.K. Pillai has stepped out of the comfort level of a Home Secretary and stood by you in what you have said.
Right. And that is where the second affidavit was filed. Then what happened was somehow on the 1st December 2011, an SIT was appointed by the Gujarat High Court. Under what law, under what is the provision, we do not know. Of course, the people, I'm not alluding to anything, but many people told me that, oh, the judge, presiding judge who had given the order has got some Congress connection, daughter of a chief minister of Himachal Pradesh and all that. I am not believing that it was a meritorious decision. That's what I believe. But ironically in that, Mr. Satish Verma was accepted as the police officer who would help the petitioners, Shamima Kosar and Gopalakrishna Pillai, the father of Javed Mohammad Sheikh and Ishrat Jahan.
Yes, so Javed's earlier name was
Pranesh Pillai.
Pranesh Pillai, converted.
Converted.
So his father is still a Pillai.
And Shamima Kosar is the mother of Ishrat Jahan. Their representative, Mr. Satish Verma, will take over.
He's the CBI guy.
No, he was not. He was a
He's
Gujarat cadre officer.
Gujarat
But
cadre.
what happened was he threw out all the CBI special SIT nominees as per his own version to me. And not only that, it's a matter of fact. Karnail Singh did not continue. Some few others did not continue. 3 months, 4 months. He used to fight with them, abuse them. And ultimately, when R.R. Verma, he found friendship with him, and they both. In the meantime, the interrogation, I was called in to depose for questioning. I said, क्या चाहिए आपको? मैंने कहा, कहता है इसको change करो. मैंने कहा, I cannot change it. It is there, written affidavit है.
So you're in a room.
I was in a room.
Explain to me how this worked. This is like an interrogation going
No,
on.
this is like an
What is your crime?
No crime. See, next room, the people took that aapka naam, baapka naam, and that sent me, put me like you are thrown to the wolves. Satish Sharma was sitting there and smoking. So I said, मेरे को ये थोड़ा दिक्कत होता है. तो कहता नहीं, उससे सिगरेट नहीं पेगा, देखना तुम्हारा सिगरेट से ही मारूंगा. I said, go get lost. I said, ultimately what happened was he continued harassing for... Initial stages were okay. From 12 noon to around 2:30, 3 o'clock, it was okay.
What was he saying, asking you to do?
इसको change कर दो.
क्या change करना चाहते थे?
इसको तुम सीधा आज नरेशन चेंज कर दो कि ये एनकाउंटर था.
सोहराबुद्दीन का
नहीं,
इशरत
जहान का. मैंने कहा जी एनकाउंटर नहीं था, ये क्रॉस फायर था. आई गेव द नेम क्रॉस फायर. कहता क्रॉस फायर क्या होता है? मैंने कहा देखो आप उधर सारा पेपर देखो, फॉरेंसिक देखो, ये रिपोर्ट देखो. आई रेफर टू द रिपोर्ट सेइंग दैट दे फायर्ड फर्स्ट फ्रॉम द फर्स्ट शॉट केम फ्रॉम द ब्लू इंडिका. अरे यार, आई एम अ पुलिस ऑफिसर, यू आर ट्राइंग टू, पता करते 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 ही गॉट एजिटेटेड. गाली गलोच में शुरू हुआ.
So these chaps, that Javed and Ishrat Jahan in this blue Indica,
plus 2 more,
plus 2 who were Pakistanis.
Who are Pakistanis? Amjad Rana and Zishan Johar. They were Pakistanis illegally living in India. So they were, मैंने कहा था वो बाकी पाकिस्तानी क्या कर रहे थे, उसका तुमने क्या लेना देना? मैंने कहा जी लेना देना है कि पाकिस्तानी बोलेगा. So that is the way.
And the cops are behind.
Cops are नहीं, cops का, see at around 8:30 their car broke down in Surat. Around 9:30 they got that car repaired, had some meals somewhere, khana wana kha ke. 10 o'clock they must have 270.
She's made a call also to her mother in that.
Right. 270 kilometers from around 10 o'clock they leave. Around 3 or 3:30 in the morning, that was normal time. They are confronted outside the Ahmedabad, the outskirts of Ahmedabad. So after seeing so many police, somebody from the back seat of the car, either Jishan Jora or
the Pakis.
The Pakis, one of them must have fired. I do not know who is that. So as soon as the police also started countering that in self-defense. Self-defense, PM's defense, Home Minister's defense, all defenses.
Yeah.
It was all defenses.
Correct.
Then it happened that they started firing, these people started firing, and ultimately it got knocked off. And she was killed. And this is the true story. Crossfire it happened. But what was pushed through was
Encounter.
Encounter. Some people, originally it was because by that time the UPA had come. Because it happened on 15th June 2004, UPA had come, and they were looking for everything to disrupt Modi from becoming anything, even as a Chief Minister of Gujarat. So they started persecuting. Even Sohrabuddin case, it never came to us. Otherwise, maybe I would have known more about it. But Sohrabuddin was not a paragon of virtue. He was also an arms trafficker and all that. Similarly, here she was a terrorist, a proper Fidain Lashkar-e-Toiba. And in 2000...
Wait, let's come back to that interrogation. So he's smoking and he tells you, change it.
Right.
How long did you keep resisting and saying no?
From 12 noon to around 2:30.
Then what did he do?
He got up and started abusing. Then at around 3:15, 3:30, he put his cigarette here.
On your thigh?
On my thigh. कहता देखते रहना. मैंने कहा जी मैं I'm being very reserved.
It burnt through your pants?
It burned through my pant. Minor communication in the skin because the packet pouch comes in between.
You are not trained in any manner. You're a government servant. You are not trained to take any kind of atrocity like this, any kind of third degree method. At that moment, what would have taken to crack you? What did he think he could crack you?
I will be very forthright. What was told to me by a back-end officer of the CBI, he kept on saying, he was a Tamilian, that back-end officer of the कहता है ये मद्रासी है टूटेगा. He has been telling it since morning when they were interacting. कहता है इसको मैं शीशे में उतारूंगा. And ultimately he kept on saying तुम इसको कर दे. मैंने प्रॉमिस किया है हमारे डायरेक्टर CBI को. I do not know. कहता मेरा फला he called him out some Babaji or something like that, whether some relative or something. I do not know what is the relative. कहता मेरा प्रॉमिस है कि मैं इन दोनों को अंदर करवाऊंगा.
किस दोनों को?
काली दाढ़ी और सफेद दाढ़ी was the words used by him.
काली दाढ़ी is?
काली दाढ़ी at that time was Amit Shah. सफेद दाढ़ी at that time was Narendra Modi.
Through your...
through using me. And he said he must be ये कोई सेंट्रल सेक्रेटेरिएट का ऑफिसर है. ये
तोड़ना आसान
होगा और अला मद्रासी भी है. तो अल्टीमेटली at around 4 o'clock when I said look, it has gone too much. Now, if I have to go behind the bars, I better go in a murder case. If I have to spend my time, I was very forthright. मैंने कहा देखो, don't you have provoked me too much. Although my wife will go to the Chief Justice residence with my at least a team of lawyers, that's a separate story. But if you still want me to put me behind the bar, do it on a murder case. कहता किसका कर लोगे मर्डर? मैंने कहा मैं आप ही का करूँगा, बाकी किसका कर लोगे? मैंने कहा दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी का बास्केटबॉलर हूँ मैं, अभी ताकत है. I have been a sportsman all through my life. अभी ताकत है, फिटनेस अभी भी रखता हूँ. कहता मेरा you see my structure. That time even this was not there. I used to do regular workouts. पता नहीं क्या सोचा उसने. कहा वो किसी को बुलाया, कहते यार इनको जाके तुम एयरपोर्ट छोड़ दो. मैंने कहा जी होगा तो ऐसे ही होगा, नहीं तो I will not. Then he abandoned me, dropped me at the airport. At around 5:30 or so, I was dropped at the airport.
If they did this to you, I can well imagine what they must have done to Shrikant Purohit.
Yeah, certainly.
He could withstand it.
Because of his army background.
But Sadhvi Pragya couldn't.
She couldn't. She has lost her eyes. Her limbs are crumbling and all that.
And this was all to say that there is something called Hindu terror.
Hindu terror. And not only that, Narendra Modi was the fit head of the Hindu terror narrative. He is killing Ishrat Jahans, he is killing Sohrabuddins, that the entire...
So you think they have mapped Modi's career and they knew that, he has this potential to become Prime Minister, or what was it? Did they not want... Who did they think that he is going to become? Because there are so many chief ministers.
What happened to me was in June 2013. By that time, Modi's popularity had risen by many bounds. Nobody was coming closer to that. not only Congress, other INDA or whatever it is, whether Mulayam Singh Yadav or Lalu Yadav or whomsoever it is. Nobody was near about that, and Modi was from the National Party. BJP was still a national party. Others were simply state level, RJD's district level party or whatever it is. So they could foresee it and they wanted to stop it.
And they also knew that Advani is not really making it at that stage.
2013, 12 and all.
That's what. Advani has already lost the election. Vajpayee is too old. And so it's either Sushma Swaraj, Arun Jaitley or Modi. But
that part I do not know, but they were after the Modi and Amit Shah to be put behind the bars.
Because neither Sushma Swaraj nor Jaitley were really Hindutva leaders.
Right.
The only Hindutva leader at that stage was Narendra Modi.
Perfectly right. Perfectly right. And see, they simply went.
They could battle Sushma Swaraj or an Arun Jaitley, who were considered the other probables in the BJP.
Right.
Politically, they could have battled. Right. But Narendra Modi was the only other probably inheritor of Advani's Ayodhya movement and everything else.
Because he was the driver of that Sarathi of that Rath. In Ayodhya's vehicle, he had driven it. So that is the reason they found that Modi is the biggest challenge. See, at that time...
Had you met either Mr. Modi or Mr. Shah during this period? During that period?
No.
You had never met them?
No, never met.
You never got a call or anything like that?
No.
They never knew what you were going through?
They knew...
Or they didn't speak to you about it?
They might have known because... Incidentally, one more thing happened at that time. I was posted as LNDO, Land and Development Officer. And one resident commissioner from Gujarat wanted a land for Gujarat Bhavan, Gujarat Garvi Bhavan. So,
in Delhi, that is?
In Delhi. So I called the surveyor. So first I called the surveyor and said, यार इनका अच्छा बढ़िया लगा दो. कहता उधर ले लो. मैंने कहा उधर नहीं चाहिए, तुम इधर दो ना वो
चाणक्यपुरी
मानसिंह रोड में.
मानसिंह रोड, ओके.
तो वो एक छोटा सा मैप लेके आया. कहता साहब ये कर दूं. तो Mr. Bharatlal was there. It's nothing to do with this. Bharatlal was there. ये हो सकता है. मैंने कहा था हो तो सकता है. अब मुझे 10 चिट्ठियाँ लिखवा दो रूपानी से या मैं तो आई कैन नॉट टेक ए डिसीजन ऑन दिस. तो पर 2-3 कांग्रेस एमपी से भी लिखवा दो, हो जाएगा. कहता दैट आई विल डू इट. So that is how we got that Gujarat Garvi. That is a beautiful guest house there, VIP guest house of Gujarat in the Mansingh Road, Akbar Road, right opposite to AICC headquarters. हो गया. So in that connection, somebody from the Gujarat Bhavan used to come and meet me. Then he said, Mani sahab, newspaper में मैं क्या पढ़ रहा हूँ? मैंने कहा ये पढ़ रहा थी तो ठीक हुआ. Then he called me one day, कहता यार don't worry, I will be with you. I will inform the concerned people. So I'm sure he must have informed, Mr. Bharatlal must have informed the people in Gujarat government, Modi ji and Amit Shah ji, about this, my plight, what I have been going through. But I said it, we will face it. But worst thing happened is December 2000. See, at that time, clear decision. See, in particular case, I had considered as an LNDO officer, I had taken a legal opinion on that. So I was asked to explain why I took a legal opinion. To open out cases against me. Such flimsy grounds, certain vigilance cases were opened against me. But no matter, it were all closed. That's a different matter.
But you know that when that Bhavan came up, it was like, this is Jan ke, it has been done near the Congress office. Just
it was never in my mind. See, I called the surveyor on Dogra or somebody. He came and कहा यार कहता सर उधर ले लो इधर ले लो ये वसंत विहार में. मैंने कहा वसंत विहार में नहीं देना. तो कहता सर इधर तो एक ही प्लॉट बचा है. So I said दे दो आप बनाओ इनसे. I asked him to get letters from some members of parliament so that it becomes easy for me to buttress. Otherwise on my own I cannot suggest. They will say what is your... it would have added fuel to fire.
So, when another thing which you constantly mention in your interviews and in what you have written about also is the fake currency racket and how it funded terrorism in India. Could you give me a little bit of information on this?
Domaria-Ganj is the biggest case on that. Domaria-Ganj
Which you
state
said, on the border,
See-
Nepal border.
Nepal border. Besides that, fake currency, see, I always say Madhukar Gupta ji was the best Home Secretary, but he was the most unlucky Home Secretary in his tenure, because all bad things happened with him. But he was the person who wanted to take on fake currency by the neck. Really, he started working on it. Earlier, fake currency used to be discussed and all that. But during Madhukar Guptaji's time, we caught hold of a lot of fake currencies at several places, coming through border areas, coming through Nepal, Islamabad to Sri Lanka, and coming through coastal routes. So many ways. And he declared a war on fake currency. And fake currency also used to fund around 25 to 30% of the terror funding in India. 30% from drugs and 30% from fake currency and local, that was a major area where we cracked a lot. We did a lot of cracking with the help of Mr. The Chief General Manager Currency in Reserve Bank of India. My flight to Bombay every month was fixed. I used to carry the fake currency of the current year's seized, hand it over to him. Previous currencies reports, we used to get it, give it to the agencies for wherever criminal prosecution is required. Bombay itself had fake currency cases. In one of the cases, with the intelligence backed, we caught hold of a person. Thereafter, NIA was there. I was a witness in the case. I had issued prosecution sanction also. I had said the conviction happened in 2012 when I was in the Urban Development Ministry. Ravi Dhiren Kosh. And like that. And this fake currency, when the investigation, my interrogation was happening in the court, the same Mobin Solkar and the same set of lawyers who stand for the top terrorists convicted, they were also cross-examining me. The same people. It's not the fake currency, it was a different ball game. Some other set of lawyers would have come. But it was the same set of people who cross-examined me, and ultimately...
It's the same team you are saying,
team.
Yeah?
The same team.
Who were the beneficiaries largely of this fake currency?
Fake currencies, actually how they used to fund is... Clean currencies were taken out, especially it used to go through even petrol pumps. This Payalur case of Kerala is one thing, ICICI Bank. So fake currency, Pakistan was the beneficiary directly. It was 43 to 100 was the ratio. 100 rupee note used to cost 43 rupees to print. And
which we are seeing in Durandhar, the movie, the whole fake currency.
Whole fake currency. And Javed Khanini was the owner of the largest Indian fake currency printing press in Peshawar and Karachi. And after the...
There are two brothers in that,
Aftab Khanini was he was caught in... twin brother Aftab Khanini was arrested in Australia for printing fake currency of US. This gentleman was killed after demonetization, 4 weeks after demonetization.
Yeah.
Exactly 4 weeks after demonetization. They say he was found dead in suspicious circumstances. We can put 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. Because huge amount of money was to come into India, which was spoiled by our Prime Minister, that all that became trash, valueless trash. And again, like ISI always does, when it became useless for them, they don't pay. What was like Arif Kasmani's case, it was also a case where Javed Khani would not have been paid and he would have landed in trouble.
Yeah, but at least he squealed. Here we didn't know about it, right? Until the movie came out. Have you seen the film?
Yeah.
You've seen the film. Yeah. That the illusion that somebody in government of India was allowing and the printing. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
It's only a small part
plates,
of it.
Yes.
It's only a small bird's eye view.
Yeah.
There are other things, like for example, there was on Shiladitya Banerjee's committee's report how we should secure the thing and all, how it was thrown into dustbin.
How we should secure?
There was a beautiful report by one officer called Shiladitya Banerjee about how to secure our security process. He was a finance ministry officer. And all of them were, we had also supported it because of security issue. Those things, how repeatedly the person who took the decision to sell the second-hand machinery to some XYZ or whatever it is, and how these fake currencies rebirth was planned. That could have been avoided had those security measures mentioned in one Sailaditya Banerjee committee's report.
When was this about?
2009.
2009.
That's the reason I said Mr. Madhukar Gupta ji had actually launched a war on fake currency, and it could have been many things could have happened.
So this file was trashed.
The report itself was not, nobody, it was a finance ministry report, but nobody, otherwise lot of things, the fake currency could not have even conceptualized. There were several ways of handling it.
But you're saying that in some interviews of yours I've seen, you said that there were politicians who in India who were very much hand in glove with who were beneficiaries of that.
Yes.
The petrol pumps were owned by some politicians.
Many politicians. Petrol pumps owned by politicians. A politician would handle fake currency and push it through in UP and others. The deal will happen in Maharashtra. All those, see, in Maharashtra there are few UP-based politicians who have become prominent. They would push it through. The petrol pumps owning, not only petrol pumps, but by design.
And this thing, diplomatic bags also, you say.
Diplomatic. See, Shahid Malik was the High Commissioner of Pakistan. See, I remember after all this, Mr. Afta Serab, I'm forgetting his name. Afra Sayab. Afra Sayab or some name is there. He was a Deputy High Commissioner in Pakistan High Commission in Delhi. He had confirmed, Afra Sayab or something like that. He had, in fact, confessed somewhere, because he was being persecuted much later, that he had also confessed how fake currency was being peddled into this during Abdul Basit's time, or prior to that Shahid Malik's time. So they all confessed. And property dealers used to be handling fake currencies. About property dealers, there is a huge mafia. One lady councillor was there in Pakistan High Commission in India. She had a very, I'm not alluding to anything, even she was, during John Major's time in UK, she was declared non grata and sent back for whatever reasons. So she used to also coordinate fake currencies. Pakistan High Commissioner in Shantipat.
Abdul Basit.
Abdul Basit, she was
Shahid
councillor.
Malik. Councillor, okay.
Or I'm not taking the name deliberately. And property dealers, some select property dealers used to hold these farmhouse parties. There these fake currencies were dealt with and distribution networks were held. And that there many Home Ministry officers were also, or some important officers from the Government of India were also taken to that, drinking and all used to go. So that was also a part of the thing. So many things, it was all not.
And through Nepal it used to come in?
Nepal, through Sri Lanka. In fact, our friend, my boss, Mundikar Gupta ji had FCOD, he started a proposal to set up monitoring units in Bangkok, Indian Embassy, Indian High Commission Sri Lanka, Indian Embassy Nepal, etc. And lot of good things. It was curbed to a great extent. But the printing would go unabated because the political leadership, say executive can do only as much as the politicians allow them to do. And the political leadership was not very, very earnest about, because they had their own pie in that. Many of them had that, like the petrol pumps owned by politicians.
Where? In Jammu and Kashmir, right?
Even house cars, separatist leaders of Jammu hold the houses and petrol pumps in Delhi also.
In Delhi also.
See, there are 18 or 20 separatist leaders used to have properties which would put a good large-scale industrialist to shame.
Hurriyat leader.
Hurriyat leader. That was also compiled and exposed by me. And later on, after I left Home Ministry, when the new government came, I shared it with one political person very close to me, Sheshadri Chariji. He took it up with the government. I only told them there is a report of mine lying there, gathering dust. Then 2017 May, there was a raid on all these places. It took of course they took 2-3 years to develop that and update it. Because my report was 2010 based. And when I came to know that, see, it was almost grown 3 times in 7 years. That is the level of money. All the Hurriyat leaders, Jammu and Kashmir contractors, it's because Jammu and Kashmir, I always said that it was a contractors lobby which was also importantly involved in that. See, during Manmohan Singh's time, 5,500 crore package, then they will start, be quiet for some time. Then the next disturbance will start. 26,000 crores package. Then it will go into lull. Then the next disturbance will start. So I was studying this time. Then
There's a pattern to it.
No, it's not a pattern. Contractors, certain families of Kashmir, political families, and the separatist leaders used to share the booty. Now, Dalina to Singhpura in the Baramulla, Srinagar-Baramulla highway, there is a place called Dalina. There is a road which goes. In every package, the road is supposed to have been constructed. But even today, the road is not existent. I do not know what is the status now. In Sopore area, in the
These are ghost roads.
Ghost roads.
It's just money being transferred from
and
it.
all.
And these are bank transfers also. J&K Bank was also involved in
J&K Bank was also, the CMD himself was involved in that. And like that, there are in Pahalgaon area, there is Pahalgaon to that Chandanbadi, or back this Anantnag to Pahalgaon roads. I don't know how many times they have been carpeted. But still, it's not a very widening. There is no scope because the canals flowing on both sides.
So this is all basically money circulating fake currency. Okay.
All these packages are fake. And out of that money will also, after the government fund is there, the treasury will, bad money will drive good money out of the market. And fake currency will enter there also. Like that in Naxal areas also, that used to be very common. 11,000 crores annual budget was the Naxal. Now Naxal is abolished all over the world.
So basically, there was no way that India could have won the war against Naxalism or against Kashmiri separatism unless this fake currency rackets and the drugs racket had not been stopped, right?
That's a very major, there are very major points which had to be curbed. It had to be curbed, controlled. See, drugs, you must have seen the last few years, there is not much, but prior to that 2020, up to 23, 22, or prior to that, lot of drug busts used to happen, not just in coastal areas, but also in mainland of coming through several sources. So, and they were all for funding even though Manipur, the problem is there. Manipur only the problem is there in northeast.
Yes.
Northeast, but other places it's all cleaned up because.
So there's no way that terrorism can function as a purely terror organization without the backing of this drug mafia and fake currency mafia.
See, finance is the lifeline of terrorism. So for where do the finance? You don't put legitimate money into this. If there is a legitimate money, there is something beyond that. Rangdari, sale of hides and skins in the Kurbani. In Kurbani, the meat is eaten, the hides and skins. If you see the Council of Leather Exports profile nowadays in the last 30 years back, the entire profile has changed, the membership profile. Because many of them have got into sale the hides and skins business, which is very lucrative, which is all unorganized. It's all informal sector, lot of money, both fake and true currencies. It's all cash-based thing. And there is no assessment of, you cannot make a thumb rule assessment of if a goat is cut, how much hide and what is the value of hide and skin which is recovered out of that. That's a very major source. It looked very, very commensal for us. Very commensal for us.
Yeah. But you're talking
huge money. It's huge money.
unorganized.
Unorganized.
And no documentation.
No
everything.
documentation. No documentation.
But also drugs.
Drugs
Pakistan,
also is unorganized.
Yeah. Pakistan's, with that, all the opium cultivation which is happening in Afghanistan, that routing of that drug money is what goes into all the terror
Funding. 30% of the terror funding, now it might have increased. Another 30% through this fake currencies. 30%, 25 to 30% through the sale of drug, hides and skins in Kurbani, and normal sale of hides. See, in Indian, in the halal, in the non-halal economy, it is washed away because we cut it in. But this was told by a Muslim gentleman to me. But in the halal, they harness the hides and skin because they cut it slowly. So they harness the hides and skin, and that's a huge profit for them. And absolutely undeclared profit. We do not know. Like husks in vegetable areas, this is something which they use it. And they use it for huge, all sorts of. And another 10 to 15% comes from the zakat and contributions from that. And now Honorable Minister has taken a very important direction to the Siliguri corridor people, that any religious institution or places of worship 50 kilometers from the border, because that is where the money was coming. I have flagged it in my book. Within Indo-Bangladesh border, both sides, Assam and Bangladesh, by Bengal, there huge foreign contributions come. Hardly, he has already tightened the FCRA.
Yeah.
That's a very wonderful decision. I had already written to him at least 2-3 times that when, even for a natural calamity like a flood in Kerala, we refused foreign collaboration. Why do you require foreign contribution for this? Well, it's all used for this. And many of the FCRAs are used for terror funding also, under the garb of whatever madrasa or education or whatever it is. Radicalization also happen and terror funding also happen, and sometimes it is very difficult to differentiate between the two. See, if in the madrasa, if arms training is given, like Al-Falah universities or something, if some arms training
or storing of arms,
everything is done, it is terror funding.
Yes. Even if it's fertilizer, which is illegal.
For example,
chemicals.
We were talking about Mumbai 2611. I'll just take you back there. You know, old timers in Mumbai remember that there used to be a chai ki tapri. See, they sustained the attack for 3 days almost, 2.5 days. 2.5 days. That could have not been done with equipments carried on the pockets of these people. It required a real armory, huge amount of arms. And there used to be a tapri outside Taj Hotel which vanished after 2008, this attack.
Oh, you're saying they could have stored it there.
I have spoken to many Mumbaikars. Kehta, how hota tha? Maine kaha, where is that? In fact, one of my translators of my book in Marathi, Arun Karmakar, he did check with me. He is not in Mumbai, he's from other part of Maharashtra. But he spoke to at least 20 people in Mumbai. He said, yes, there used to be chai ki tapri. That Irani type, small tapri, but that cutting chai tapri, that went, because that is where these things are. So similarly,
some OGs are there.
Right.
OGWs, yeah.
So that type of we do not even know. So now it has come to Al-Falah University itself is a OG harnessing university, but other than this such huge university, even smaller
sleeper
areas.
cells were there who were storing.
Right.
No, there's a huge crackdown, and there was a political battle also about border fencing on the eastern side. On the western side, it's there, but on the western side, it's the drugs crackdown which is required.
Now the challenge is, and in Punjab, it is sent with drones.
Yeah, that's what, drugs via drones. So you don't have to have a human carrier. So even if you have fencing, there are methods to break that.
Right. That is happening already in Amritsar. There have been, at least BSF has intercepted many drones carrying undesirable things. And in Malerkotla area, it happens very often.
Yeah.
Because
But also in Jammu and Kashmir, drugs has become a major issue.
it is a major issue.
Yeah.
It is a major issue because I do not understand why they have got used to this victimhood because of pampering over several 75 years of this. Before 370 and even after 370, they have been pampered beyond the youth of Jammu and Kashmir. Honorable, this government has opened the Indian Institute of Corporate Technology branch there. Train them in hand theft carpeting, which is their speciality, which they don't do. Nowadays, they have stopped working. They are looking for doles. They are looking for, even in 2010 onwards, 150 rupees for one stone was to be thrown. Now that has also stopped. Now they are getting into drug peddling, drugs distribution and all that. This needs to be addressed very importantly. Similarly, Punjab is in the stranglehold of drugs. And it's a double whammy in the sense that drugs, conversion and all those things are, so many undesirable things are happening. And that also needs to be immediately curbed. And recently, the Nihang's aggression also is a matter of concern for that.
For all this, no, all I'm saying is that it seems that investigation, judicial reforms, and protection of officers, after this conversation, long conversation, protection of officers and that chain of command, to see that there is no political intervention of people who might have dubious intentions. That kind of firewalling should be done for investigating officers, right?
See, as far as I was there, I had a protection of a very able officer called L.C. Goyal, a joint secretary. Then I was mentioned about him. I respect him a lot. He was like a parent to us. He would say, "Oh, don't worry about it."
Very good man, yes.
Very good. Yeah? So he was a firewall. Although I had mentioned in my book that he was a person who would never laugh.
Yes, correct. Yes.
So, a fantastic officer. So, some people say, but people like L.C. Goyal are very rare. He was an outstanding officer and individually he was very competent. He would guide you and all that. But the question is, how do we develop this type of officers? They are very rare.
Right.
So,
but when towards a concluding thing, I just want to ask about your personal experience. Looking back, is there any decision that you would think back and say that I could have done this indifferently?
Not really. Yes, I have certain concerns I have in personal. See, for example, Bent Singh assassination case. I am the only Government of India witness.
Oh.
I am the only government. The hearing was held in a Chandigarh jail, and I am the only Government of India witness. And the judge asked me certain questions which keep on agitating me. Because I was carrying a T branch file which even I am not authorized to see. I showed it before him, and I'm just sharing it with you. I showed it before him, and he said, "If it is not a terrorist case, why do you bring this?" I said, "I'm not supposed to read it, so you take a decision." So he started speaking in Punjabi. कहता तुसी फिर इसके कदम वास्ते लेके आए हो? I said, मैं तो थोड़ा आदेश सीगा तो मैं लेके आया. So I don't think this is a terror case. This is a normal assassination case. Then after a little bit of interaction, then I was released. But the question is, it seems it was a inter-sign party fight between Ben Singh and one of his juniors, and she had engaged a militant to kill him. This is what I learned from the interaction with the judge who asked me the question, because I cannot open the file. He had seen the file, he closed it back, sealed it, sent it back to me. So that is the way I knew it.
Your curiosity, you didn't feel like...
I know, because it was not, it was a T branch file belonging to some other division.
What is T branch file?
It's a top secret branch.
In the Ministry of Home Affairs?
In the Ministry of Affairs. So, and somebody else is supposed to be handling that. It's not my domain. T branch file of my domain I can see. But here L.C. Goyal sent me specifically instructing me, Because he knew, he used to send me as a man Friday that wherever there's a trouble, this man will go and solve it.
Okay, last question because I've taken so much of your time. What is an important national security lesson that your life should teach us and what it's taught you?
Integrity, rely on truth. And number two is, see, intelligence agencies, don't believe them. They are doing data mining day in and day out. See, data mining is a concept which IT has started. But they are doing it even without IT was not there.
With legwork.
It was just legwork. Third thing, one of the thing, when somebody said there is no internal security policy of India. Presently, I am seeing internal security policy in action. Hurriyat is demolished, Naxals is demolished, Northeast having a much more peaceful than now. Mizoram, there is no, Tripura National Volunteers finished, Meghalaya is peaceful, Nagaland IM and Nagaland K are now at peace with each other. Arunachal was always peaceful, Sikkim was peaceful, Assam is really taking it. In fact, the current pace of development, it is outpacing West Bengal. Now I hope Suvendu will take care of that. Having said that, these are all policy in action. They don't require a written policy for that. So this type of, when Prime Minister talks of Viksit Bharat, Swasth Bharat, Kaushal Bharat, I think the Prime Minister should also start announcing Surakshit Bharat. Yes, Punjab is a place which requires a little attention. I have publicly offered my services. I would offer my services even otherwise. It has been conveyed to the Honorable Home Minister. Punjab, if it is resolved, and coasts are much more secure than what it was like. I'll give an example for that. Same 2611 was attempted on 31st December 2014, but it was repulsed by the Indian Coast Guard. So this government means internal national security in action. It is Surakshit Bharat. And that is what we should need sustain. We should be thankful to the political leadership of Narendra Modi ji, Honorable Home Minister Amit Shah ji and